Hello, Internet! Welcome to Two and a Half Brains. It's our latest discussion of the latest episode of Survivor Season 41, Episode 12, the penultimate episode of the season. I'm going to break it all down here, talk all about it, talk about what went right, what went wrong, what we liked, what we didn't like, and get ready for the season finale. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Pavement Road Productions. You can subscribe right on the YouTube channel, share the post, tell your friends. And if you want to get your feedback in as well, you can also email the show directly, pavementroadproductions@gmail.com. I'm your host, Yo Grabba Gabba, and let's go ahead and dive on in here. I'll go ahead and bring in the co-host of the show. Here again, as always, is Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm dandy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm just overwhelmed with joy.
Overwhelmed with joy, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who isn't? Who isn't these days? I want to go ahead and just dive in here, talk a little bit about the episode. We'll kind of go through the three moments that matter, who didn't survive, and then, as we always do for this final episode, we're going to talk about kind of who's doing well, who's got the best odds of getting the end, who's got the best odds of winning, and kind of what winner they kind of resemble if they do pull it off a win, kind of what their win would look like, what they kind of have to do, and who they have to kind of track, be like to win. Because at this point, there's really no unique winners. Everybody's won like somebody. Everybody's played a similar game to somebody. So, and they always say they want to play like somebody anyways. So we'll go into that as we get going here. Before we get into all that, Jessica, anything you want to talk about broad strokes about the episode?
No, I think we're just good to dive in.
All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and do that then. Like I said, it's going to be a little different. It's hard to do a top three, bottom three. There's only 5 people left. So we kind of have to just look at everybody left and kind of put them in a basket. So let's go ahead and dive in here, Jessica, starting with three moments that matter from this episode. Moment number one is...
Target Ricard.
Target Ricard. Yeah, what's that all about?
I mean, they wanted to get him out, and then obviously that was taken away because he won the immunity challenge. So They were finally realizing that they made a bad move and didn't get rid of him last week, and that obviously they needed to get rid of him this week, but it was too late.
Yeah, for sure. So that was kind of what it came down to. I mean, it ultimately, they kept Ricard last week. They think that they may or may not have made the right decision last week, but it came down to the fact that they kept him in the game, and maybe it was the right decision, maybe it wasn't the right decision, but they were ready to make the move this week regardless. Regardless if, it was the right decision or wrong decision. They kind of said, Xander said, I want to get my one more vote with my target in front of me, and then, I can make the move. So they're ready to make the move this week. It looks like at least, Erica, Xander, Deshaun, and Danny were ready to go, regardless of what Heather was going to do. But they were ready to make the move on Ricard. But, of course, the best laid plans as they of course, he won the immunity. And, even on the reward challenge, Deshaun was like, hey, I don't really trust them, but I want to go with, Xander and Erica to take out, because he went on the road with them. He said he wanted to go with Xander and Erica and take out Ricard.
Right.
But again, didn't work out because Ricard won his third immunity challenge.
Shocking. Anybody else surprised?
No. And the thing is, too, right, it was one of those episodes where they kind of set up, it's going to be Ricard, it's going to be Ricard, it's going to be Ricard. And you almost like, all right, it's either going to be that obvious or he's got to win the immunity. And you almost, he's got to win the immunity. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when it was Survivor Philippines, Penner was on the block. He was going to second Penner reference in a row, 2 weeks in a row. You got to get rid of him. He's an easy vote. And then he never won challenges, and he won that one. That was the only one he won. And he won that one and made a difference. A huge difference in the game. So
Yeah.
Cool. What's next?
Truth Kamikaze.
Truth Kamikaze. What was that?
Well, dear Deshaun made a ridiculously stupid decision, which I guess it could have been pre-planned or whatever, we don't know, that he wanted to blow up Erica, and just let everybody know that Erica said that she can't take Heather with her to the end because they played too much of a similar game that they're not going to be able to differentiate between them. Why he decided to do that then, I don't know. Was he really sure that he was being kept? I don't know. Why he did it, I really don't know. But
yeah, it's like you mentioned too. What you said, maybe why he was doing it.
Maybe why he was doing it.
Yeah. Because he thought maybe they found the idol.
Oh, yeah, that would have been even better if that is what happened. He did that and didn't care either way because they were going to play an idol for Deshaun, figuring that everybody was going to vote for Deshaun and then gets whoever Deshaun voted out. But.
Yeah, like basically do the Russell Hanson move where you get like hey, it's splitting the vote. I'll work with you and we'll throw it on Harvey, or hey, get everybody mad at me and they'll throw the vote on me, then I'll play the idol myself. Mm-hmm. Right, and then I think Joe Mena did that once too. He got everybody mad at him, and he had an idol. He wanted them to vote for him so he could play the idol and maximize the impact.
Right.
I thought too that this is the last week they could use it. Jeff usually says it's the last week you can use it.
He said it last week that this was the last week.
He usually says it like he goes, "This is
tonight,
tonight's the last night to use it."
Right.
But he didn't say that. So
No.
But I assume it is last week you can use it because you can't imagine you can use it at 5.
I wouldn't think so.
But
look who's he.
I don't know, Jessica. I really don't know. So we'll see. But the Truth Kamikaze said I don't know. It felt like there's more to it than that. But also felt like he was desperate and trying to throw some out there. I almost thought maybe he was going to use the shot in the dark.
Yeah, I did too.
And if he did, he would have gone home because of the way the votes went. Mm-hmm. But maybe if he and
there had to be some plan with him and Erica for him to just do that. But who the heck knows?
I don't know.
Trying to throw people off the scent. I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know.
But I mean, we don't even know how people voted the first time around. But Ricard probably voted for Deshaun the first time around.
Yeah, I don't know. I think,
so it's hard.
I think because I think Ricard and Heather voted for Deshaun and Danny obviously, and then Deshaun, Xander, and Erica voted for Danny.
That's how I imagine it went down. So
and that's the final 3.
Right.
Want to keep Deshaun.
Right. So who knows?
I don't know. I really couldn't say.
I don't know.
But anyways,
it worked out for him. So.
Yeah, I said it was interesting. I don't know if it was a good move or a bad move. I guess maybe we'll tell eventually. But he threw it all out there, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. What was that?
I guess unbeknownst to us, Danny never really revealed who he was to everybody, and decided to tell Deshaun that he played for the Cowboys for 5 years and the Bears for 1 year. Go Bears, I guess. Fernanda.
I don't like the Cowboys, but it was a cool thing.
Yeah,
it was a cool thing, and it was funny because there was a couple of this. I put this down for a couple of reasons. A couple of things came to mind when players talk about who they are in real life. When Jeremiah Wood was on Survivor on the Beauty Tribe, I don't know if Jessica knows who Jeremiah Wood is.
No,
that's a good thing.
You're funny.
He is the model, and he was like they were trying to build a bond, and he was basically his back was against the wall, and he's had a kind of an alliance with a couple people, and he was trying to kind of strengthen the alliance. So he said, "Hey guys, I gotta tell you something. I'm a model. My name's Jeremiah Wood. Google me Jeremiah Wood with the word model after it, you'll find me." And
why did you say good thing? Because you want me to see how good looking he is?
No, I didn't know. Just I would figure just to be like, oh my god, I know that guy. He's so hot.
No.
Okay, because I'm glad she didn't.
Survivor people, me.
I thought maybe you knew him from before, and then I've been really like, oh, that's not good. But anyways, I remember he said that, and he revealed I'm a model, and they're like, sweet bro, we don't care, it was kind of how that reveal went. But the reason I put on this Go Cowboys thing is because they remind me a lot of the Boomer Sooner thing from when Chris Hammonds got voted out on Survivor Millennials versus Gen X. Him and Zeke built a bond over being fans of Oklahoma Sooners, and Zeke grew up rooting for the Sooners, and Chris won the national championship with the Sooners. So it was like Zeke was fanboying, girling, whatever, over the whole thing. Don't take that the wrong way. Just I don't want to say fangirling and make it inappropriate. So Zeke was, geeking out, let's say, over the chances to see, somebody, a team who grew up rooting for, the most successful team they had ever had. He was talking to somebody and aligning with somebody who was on that team.
Played on the team.
Yeah. So when Chris got voted out, I think he knew Zeke voted for him, But he was on the way out. He turned and went, it's, last words to the tribe. He turned and went, Boomer! And Zeke went, Sooner! And so it was kind of like the Go Cowboys thing. It was a little inside joke for those people who knew what it was. And that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I thought this was funny tonight, so.
It was cool. I liked it a lot. And he also said, Danny, I really like Danny.
Yeah.
It was tough because I said, if I, I had to pick who I wanted to go, my heart wanted Danny to stay, but my head wanted Danny to go for the sake of the game. So I was, I was happy with that, I guess. But it was interesting. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. Anything else?
No.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that he did tell them. I figured they all knew. Like I said, a lot of
he just told Deshaun.
Yeah.
So when he left and said, Go Cowboys, like, nobody else knew what was going on at all.
And I think Deshaun's from Texas, so I think that might make sense.
I don't know, but I'm going to look while you talk.
Yeah, because I think it could have been like, because I feel like Deshaun was a Cowboys fan, and that's why he said it, right? So, and then he says that, and then they were like, oh, he's a Cowboys fan, and they're buddies, so that's what he said, right? So I feel like that was kind of his...
He is not. He's from California and resides in Miami, Florida.
Okay, well, whatever.
It's just because Deshaun was in on the joke.
Okay, so
that's basically why.
So either way, maybe maybe they don't know. I don't think anybody else is gonna really read too much into it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and talk about who did not survive for the final time this week.
Danny
McRae. Yeah, what happened?
Them's the breaks.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened? Ricard won immunity and someone had to go, and that's ended up who went because all of a sudden Xander and Erica and Heather are tight, and they had no choice but to keep Ricard and wanted to keep Deshaun around. They feel like they're better off going with Deshaun than Danny to the end.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I don't know. I think...
Or they think Deshaun can take down Ricard.
Yeah, I mean, Erica threw out there that Danny could beat Ricard, and Deshaun really couldn't because she wanted Danny to go to Ricard.
Yeah, you said it opposite though. You said Danny could beat Ricard.
Well, what she said to Ricard was Deshaun and you are the same. Danny has those outside strengths that are different than what you possess. So basically, what she was saying to Ricard to get him to keep Deshaun was, you and Deshaun are the same. You're beating him. Danny can do something that you can't do.
Yeah.
And that's why you should get rid of Danny. And that's why Eric put that seed in his head. I'm pretty confident in that.
Yes, you just said it opposite. You said they should keep Danny and get rid of Deshaun.
Yeah, I maybe didn't complete the sentence. So I was trying to say, but
yeah.
The bottom line is, she was saying you and Deshaun are the same, and you're better. Right. Danny's different. If there's a challenge that Deshaun can do, you can do better.
Danny has hidden talents that you might not possess.
Right.
I mean, he won that one kind of a fluke, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it was nice when he did win it for the semblance of it all. But
for sure.
Yeah.
I think for I like Danny. I think he was really likable. He definitely is a recruit, which the recruits don't usually play the game that well. They just kind of just are there and they're a good a name or whatever. Obviously played 6 years in the NFL. Good for him. Better than us. I think. I just think for me, I don't really love the recruits, but again, they're always name recognition. The athletes don't usually go that far. They usually go right on the merge. Danny went pretty far just because he had a solid alliance, and he played a loyal game.
Yeah.
So that's all good too.
Yeah.
I just think it came down to the numbers at the end of the day, and he didn't have. He wasn't going to win the game for two reasons. One, if he was up against anybody other than Deshaun, he loses for not making enough moves. If he's up against Deshaun, he loses because of the social game. Right? So, I mean, and then he didn't make enough moves. So, I mean, he's likable. If it came down to it was like him or like Hitler or Stalin, he probably wins. But he's not going against anybody. He's not beating anybody on the merits of his gameplay. He's beating people on the merits that he did really well in challenges. He was a bit of a leader on that original Luvu tribe.
Yeah.
So that's good. And he was very likable. So
he could probably beat Heather.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, he could probably beat Heather. He could probably beat even Erica or Xander, maybe. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he beats anybody else really because he's likable. yes, he was a leader of the Blue Tribe. He could talk to that. Yes, he was good in challenges. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your social bonds and your gameplay. And he didn't really do great in either one, aside from just being likable.
Yeah.
And again, Deshaun had over on him. They did more moves, and Deshaun had more bonds with other people. And I mean, I think we'll get to that a little bit later here. But that's I think what Danny did wrong this week.
Yeah.
And again, he ran out of track. At the end of the day, you got this. You only have so many people to vote for at that point, right? And so it was it's either Danny or it's Deshaun, and the Deshaun was in on another plan, and he was kind of integral to Xander and Erica's plans going forward. Danny wasn't. I would if I was them, I'd probably cut Heather instead because she's definitely not beating him in the challenges where maybe Danny would. So I probably would have kept Danny for that reason. But if you have a better working relationship with Heather, you trust her more than you trust Danny. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, the whole thing is, though, it's not that Deshaun didn't trust Danny, but it's that someone had to go.
Well, right.
And
And I definitely don't mean that from Deshaun's perspective. I mean that from everybody else's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like they said, I think they should have targeted Heather. Erica and Xander should have targeted Heather because, she's not going to beat him in the challenges. You want to stack the deck to be able to beat him in the challenges. And so you kept Heather, which is just
not great.
Right. She's not going to be anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But either way, Danny did good. I do like a lot of times when the athletes are there, and they're a lot of times are really nice and friendly, and they play a good game, and or they don't necessarily play a great game, but they're there for a while, and they go out around the merge because they don't know the game well enough to make the moves deep into the game.
Yeah.
Danny went further, I think, than you would have expected. He went further than pretty much any athlete ever has. So you gotta give him that credit.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
All right, so now we're going to switch gears and talk about who has what odds of surviving to the end. So who's got the best odds of getting to the end? And then if they do get to the end, what they have to do, what kind of winner they resemble from the past. Right, so I like kind of doing that, taking a look at what they kind of need to do. A lot of times, and I'm not going to give anything away, but a lot of times the who has the best odds of getting to the end and who has the best odds of winning are almost complete opposites, completely flipped. Not necessarily in every case or necessarily in this case, but a lot of times,
case, yes.
But not in this case, not quite. Close. Close.
Nope.
Close. Oh, yeah, it is.
I can read.
I thought I switched it, but either way. So, spoiler alert.
Arguing with me.
Spoiler alert. But I think it's different. I think the odds of getting to the end, and the odds of winning are very different. So we'll it should be right. I mean, I think for example, wins like Wendell's season and even Tony's season, it wasn't that way because Tony had a good odds of winning and good odds of getting the end. Wendell had a great odds of getting the end and great odds of winning.
Yeah.
So it's unless somebody pulls something off, they're probably winning.
Yeah.
Or getting the end, and then it's a matter of when they get the end, okay, who's winning between Dom and Wendell.
And it just depends on the target on someone's back.
Right, for sure, and who wins the immunities and yada yada yada. Anyways, so let's talk about who has the best odds of getting the end of everybody left. So, and then what winner do they resemble? So just tell me who's in what order, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the winner that they resemble. So first of all,
you will talk about the winner they resemble.
you know some of them a little bit too, but we'll go into who has the worst odds of getting the end as of now. Would you say?
Number 5 is Ricard.
Yeah, Ricard.
Obviously.
So why is Ricard the worst odds of getting the end?
Because everybody wants him out, and as soon as he doesn't have that necklace around his neck, he should be gone. Should. Yeah.
Again, the only reason I was kind of torn between him and the other one, him and the next one, about who has the worst odds of getting the end, only because Ricard has shown he can win challenges, and he right. if you ask who's got the best odds of winning the challenges the rest of the way, probably Ricard. So then he really only needs to win 2. If he wins 2 more immunities, he's probably winning the game. But
out of everybody that's still left, I think Xander's won 1, Erica's won 1, Deshaun I think won 1.
Deshaun did not win 1 yet.
He didn't win 1 yet? Okay.
But he could. He definitely has the...
He could. He's been close.
He's been very close.
Yeah. He's helped win other stuff, so
yes,
he could.
Right. He's been very close to winning stuff. He's won individual reward challenges and what not to.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a sure thing that he's going to win, but I think if you said, if you gave me odds of who's going to win each challenge, I think Ricard has the best shot of winning those, so that does help his case a lot. Mm-hmm. But without knowing about idols and rewards and immunity challenges and all that, I think Ricard has the worst odds of winning.
You got to take those out of the equation because
you really can't tell. Right, exactly. So I think if you take those out of the equation, Ricard has the worst odds of getting the end. Because I think as soon as he loses one, they're going to get rid of him.
They better get rid of him. I mean, there's no reason not to. So
At this point, right?
They would,
right.
Yes.
I really think so. That being said, I mean, like that Heather, maybe, who knows? She's like, I just want to go to the end, so take me. I'll vote with you, whatever. Who knows?
I mean, she could vote with him, but there's 3 others that won't. So
that being said, if he wins the next meeting, now it's 4. Now it's fire making. Now it's all up in the air.
Yeah.
And fire making, I hate so much. But anyways, so Ricard is worth odds to get to the end. If he does get to the end, though, I do think, as much as I don't really like Ricard on a level, personal level, whatever, he's playing a good game. He's playing a pretty similar to a Jeremy Collins game. I mean, he's got the people who were on the bottom, brought them to the top. Switched the alliance, and Jeremy was in the main alliance most of the game in his season, and that's kind of what Ricard was. Ricard was really not on the outs really at all. Just the only time he was really on the outs is when he started. There was a vote or two that didn't go his way, and he grabbed everybody who wasn't on those votes and made a new pact with them. So he's played a very solid game. He's definitely not what I'm rooting for necessarily, but I said if Deshaun went out tonight, Ricard had it easily, and it was going to be a very boring finale. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But I think if they got to go for him, they got to take their shot at him, and we'll see if they get him. But or if he can avoid it and get to the final 3. Mm-hmm. So what else?
Nothing.
All right, who's number 4 then? 4th best odds of getting to the end.
Deshaun.
Why Deshaun?
Because I mean, if Ricard wins immunity, Deshaun's kind of, I guess, more of an obvious pick for everybody else to get rid of him because they can't bring 2 people that have a good odd of winning to the end.
Yeah, I think so. I really do think so. I really think, I think whoever, survives, I said it, I figured one of them was going to go this week, Ricard or Deshaun, and whoever survived that week was going to win the game. They both survived. So now it's like, all right, now what? So I really think that's right. I think if Ricard wins the next immunity or somehow he can't be voted out, I think the other ones are just like, all right, let's just cut our losses and we'll get rid of Deshaun and we'll go to the final 4 that we talked about. Mm-hmm. Or they get rid of like Heather or Erica and they're like, all right, or Xander, and they're like, let's just take one more shot at him. It's really going to depend on if they decide, all right, let's just I think Heather's useless at this point to their game. Yes, you can beat her, but you need someone who can beat Ricard. So if Ricard wins immunity, it's kind of like, what do we do?
It's hard to say anything until you know who actually wins final immunity and gets to pick who makes fire against each other.
For sure.
Because they could pit Deshaun against Ricard if they had to be in that situation to see who would be at the end. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And I can see Xander pulling at Chris Underwood. Yeah, and throwing himself in. Out. Yeah, taking out. It depends on how good he is at fire, but yes, for sure. Cool. I think if Deshaun does pull off, I think he's a bit of a Nick Wilson just because of the fact that he had a little bit of side alliance here, a little bit of side alliance here, and then when he needed it, he was able to pull in. If he wins, he's going to need to pull in the Erica, the Xander, the Heather, and kind of pull. Hey, he's got relationships with everybody. He's going to need to pull on the whichever one he can pull on that one and get to the end. Mm-hmm. So I think he gets rid of Ricard. I think he's real good shape. I really think he's got very good odds winning if he gets Ricard next week. Obviously, if Ricard gets rid of him, I think Ricard's got on the back. I really do think the first one of them to go, the other one wins. Mm-hmm. Between Ricard and Deshaun, I think. But again, crazy things have happened. I would not have said that Rick Devlin was going to lose this season. I would not have said Lauren was going to lose her season on 39. So who the heck knows? Mm-hmm. Still a little bit of a gameplay to play. Yeah. Anything else? Mm-hmm. Who is number 3 best odds of beginning the end? Erica, yeah. So what do you think? Why is Erica here? She's just like she's on here, middle of the pack. She's not really a threat, and she's not really weak. She's just middle.
Yeah, and I kind of feel that way too. I feel like with her, I feel like she's useful for at least one more vote. So I don't think if you get rid of Deshaun or Ricard, if you get whoever you get rid of, she's gonna be in on that vote. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and then after that, it's like okay, let's go after the other big threat. If the other big threat has immunity or if it's fire, I think she goes out there. I see her going out at 4 or going to the end. You know, I don't see her going out next. Again, who knows? But I just think she's got. I don't think the odds are good that she's going to go next. And you know, let's say, you know, Ricard wins the immunity, takes out Deshaun. Now he goes to the finals. He could probably put Erica's maybe the only threat left to him. So he puts like Erica against Xander in the finals and make fire, and then one loses, and that's it. I kind of see that. You know, I kind of see that going if the biggest threat wins the immunity.
Yeah.
That's the way like Erica or Xander go out. Let's say.
Yeah.
So, if Erica does pull off a win, I think it's a Sophie Clark win for sure. Because Sophie she was like probably the third best odds of winning her season, of the 5 people left. And then they get rid of the one, and then Ozzy obviously went way back in the game, won immunity, and then went down the final 4. If he wins that challenge, he wins the game. Sophie beat him in the challenge, and he hadn't lost the challenge the entire season, individual challenge the entire season. He loses that one, and then it's her, and then they get rid of him. So it's like, all right, well now Coach is gonna win, and she talked her way out of it. She talked her way around Coach and navigated around him and won the game. So I think what Erica needs to do is take out either Deshaun or Ricard, and then the other one, or somehow weave a story that she, you know, that you know, is better than the two of them. I don't think she would be able to out-talk Deshaun or Ricard. I don't think if she's at the end with Deshaun or Ricard, she wins. I think if she's at the end with anybody else, she wins. So I think her plan is to get rid of Deshaun, get rid of Ricard, and then I think she has a good shot. Maybe not 100%, but I think, you know, she's got to take out the biggest threat, and then, you know, make fire against somebody, or hope that the bigger threat loses in fire, and then she has a chance. But it's going to really depend on who goes next, and then what she does from there. Because I don't see her going next. It could be wrong, but I think it's going to matter if she just gets dragged to the end in the fire making thing. I don't think she wins. I think if she wins that immunity, or if she, you know, builds fire and wins, I think she got a good case for herself. But it's just gonna be a matter of kind of what happens with that.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What is next?
Xander's
number 2 best odds to get in the end. And again, I think the reason he's got a little bit better odds of Erica than getting in the end is just because he's got the chance to win the immunities. He's good in the challenges, and again, I think they're gonna use him for taking out Ricard or Deshaun or whoever. You know, I think he's the one who's there just to take out the threat, to beat the threat and immunity. And I think that's, you know, I think he could win a couple immunities on the stretch and really, you know, do something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think so. I feel like he's maybe flip with Erica.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
For sure. And I said, I only reason I would say Erica would be better than him is that has less odds of getting the end than him. Is I think they're seeing her as more of a threat than they're seeing Xander.
Yeah.
Xander's kind of one-trick pony, wins challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Erica, I think, has a little bit more nuance to her game, and that's why they're kind of, I think that's why they see her as a little bigger of a threat. But
yeah.
I could easily flip them easily.
Right.
And down the stretch, immunities are important. I think that's why Xander's in good shape.
Yeah.
Cool. If Xander does win, he is definitely Judd Fabio Berza. Just the fact the aloofness, the kind of like, hey man, we're just here to have fun and have a good time, and you know, you get to the end with the only chance he has is against Erica and Heather, and then maybe he still doesn't win. Maybe he does, but I think again Fabio went to the end with Sash and Chase, and Sash was like the slime ball salesman, and Chase was the good old country boy who screwed our way over. And so they're like, well, we hate both of you, so let's give it to him. And that's kind of how it was. Mm-hmm. Now Chase is way more wealthy than everybody in that season combined. Chase Rice, the singer. Mm-hmm. So, you know, whatever. But, I mean, so that's really where Fabio, I think, would fall in. I think that's where Xander would fall in. I think Xander has a little more agency in the game. I think he's a little bit smarter than Fabio was. Fabio was just kind of like, dude, I'm sure you have a good time. I think Xander has a little bit more... No, he knows what's going on a little bit more than Xander than Fabio did. So I don't want to because I think Fabio was the worst winner ever. So I don't want to put that on Xander. I think he's smarter than that. but at the same time, he's playing that like, bro, let's just have fun. Let's just do our thing. I don't want to piss anybody off. I want to be friends with everybody, and that is a in modern Survivor that's not really been done in a while. Adam Klein kind of did that. He was just like kind of throwing everything out there, like, hey, this is he was being brutally honest, and people respected that because they know where he stands, and I think that's kind of strength for Xander.
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right, who's got the best odds of getting the end?
Heather.
Heather, why?
Because she's not a threat to anybody at all.
The only way, again, I think the only way Heather doesn't get to the end is A, she's put it in fire against somebody, which I don't see why they would do that, just take her to the end. Mm-hmm. Or B, somehow there's an idol, which I don't think there's any allowed left in this game. Or like something weird happens where they're like, Deshaun and Ricard decide to work together for one more vote to get to the final four together, and then battle out in fire, and they take out like Heather. I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't really make sense to do that, but again, crazy things can happen. So I don't want to say she has a 0 chance, but again, at this point, if there were 6 people left in the game and we're going to the finale at 6 people left, I'd say maybe she gets knocked out of 5. But there's no reason to take her out of 5. There's no reason. I mean, she's not threat to anybody. So then it's fire making, and if you think she can beat somebody in fire, great. If you don't think she can beat somebody in fire, then don't why put her in. Just take her in the end. So yeah. I think she's our 0 vote finalist this year.
Yeah, probably.
If she pulls it off, I guess she's Natalie White because, again, she's just like sitting there at the end like, hey, these guys are jerks, vote for me. And they're like, all right. And then, that's kind of how Natalie won her season. She's like, yeah, I was nice to you. I talked to y'all and gave you all, I told you all nice things. It was nice to y'all. And they're like, yeah, you were. They're jerks. We'll give it to you. And I think that's kind of what happened. I think that's Heather's only chance, which is not 0, but close.
Yeah, not looking good for her.
But the odds getting the end are very good. So, because again, why would you give her? Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. So then let's go ahead and wrap up here with who has the best odds of winning the game, and we'll start with number 5.
Heather.
So again,
Obviously.
Same thing. She gets the best odds to get the end because she's not a threat, because she's not going to win.
Right.
So there's no really reason to really worry about it. Mm-hmm. She's not beating anybody.
Yeah. No, she can't win it.
Who is number 4?
Xander.
Yeah, and again, we could probably flip Erica and Xander.
I could see him winning over her.
Yeah, it gets to the end. It's really going to be what the jury values: the value of the nice person or the value of the strategic person. Xander had a little bit of both. Erica was way more strategic. I think she's way more in on the votes. She was in on more votes than Xander was. He was playing from the bottom a lot more. Mm-hmm. But I think I think the only chance either one of them has is if they're there at the end, then they duke it out.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be for them to win. It's got to be Heather, Erica, and Xander for Erica or Xander to win.
Yeah.
If it's not that combination, neither one win.
Probably, yeah.
So then, who's third best odds of winning?
Erica,
for the same reason.
Right.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Anything else to add to it, or is that pretty much?
I mean, that's pretty much it for them. Erica was handed a move to make, and Xander got, an idol and an extra vote and stuff. So
yeah, and again, you mentioned too, no idols played this season successfully. Not one played at all.
No.
All that's and there's 3 idols, and we were worried about, oh my gosh, are they all going to be played the final 6 and screw everybody's life up? No, there's nothing played. Mm-hmm. And again, I think Xander went home with it in his pocket because he didn't need it. I hate that a lot. I really do. But again, I guess at that point he's in the control of the game, so why screw it up? I mean, I guess maybe you give it to Erica or Heather to make them feel better, or play it on yourself because you might as well. At that point, if it's no good to you, but you leave it on the island. You play it if you can. So, even if you don't need it, even if you win the individual immunity, give it to somebody. I mean, that's what if you think about it. Wendell did that in his season, right? He won the final immunity, and for the final chance to play the idol, he won the immunity, so he didn't need it, so he gave it to Laurel. What did Laurel do?
Nothing.
She gave him the $1 million.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe I don't think that was why, but that didn't hurt.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
He kept her in the game, even though she wasn't really going out. He kept her in the game, and she gave him $1 million. So, I think Xander should have something like that. Erica, whatever. Let's go ahead and talk about who's got the second best odds of winning.
Deshaun.
And what do you think about Deshaun?
I mean, he's made good bonds. He's had some moves. He's always been involved with the vote, and I mean, put himself out there with a lot of stuff.
No, definitely, I agree. And I think I really think again, if it comes down to it, he beats anybody but Ricard.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so. I think Ricard, I think he's set up really well in the Adam Klein spot here too. I said Nick Wilson, but I think it's also the Adam Klein spot. Hey, let's ride to the end. Let's get rid of we'll get rid of the people at 6, get rid of people at 5, get rid of Brett at 5, and then we're down to the final 4, and it's David, Hannah, Ken, and Adam, and it's like, well, everybody and their mother knows that David's the biggest threat. Everybody knows this. Like, this is obvious. The only question is Ken and Hannah gonna be stupid just because they like David and they keep him in the game because they like him, or they make the obvious move? And they made the obvious move, and then the only one left at the end who had any resume left was Adam. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really Deshaun's move there. Get rid of Ricard, and then it's like, hey, whatever. Get rid of whoever you want next. Make fire, whatever. If he can get rid of, if somebody can beat Ricard, then so he doesn't win the immunity, they get rid of Ricard, and then and then Deshaun wins the immunity or makes fire. He's got it. The only way anybody else wins. The only way, like I said, Heather or the only way an Erica or a Xander win is if they're both gone. So I think at this point it's just, all right, take out Ricard or take out Deshaun, and then the other one wins.
Yeah.
And I think Deshaun takes out Ricard next. If he survives to the end, he's got it.
Yeah.
I think he beats anybody else.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right, and then finally Ricard.
Yeah. Well.
Best odds of winning.
Yeah, I think he's probably, if he wins immunity, he wins it all. That's basically what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really hard to say any other way, right? I mean, you can squint hard enough to say, okay, well maybe he wins this immunity and they get rid of Deshaun and then he doesn't make fire, right? But I don't see anybody else having a big enough edit. I don't see anybody else having any other odds of winning. I mean, that are substantial. I think it's 75% chance or more. I think it's 85% chance that Deshaun or Ricard win. Mm-hmm. I just don't really see anything else.
Yeah.
Again, I think you're right. I think he's one immunity away from winning because I think he wins his immunity. He'll make fire. He'll figure out a way to get to the end, right. And then at that point, there's no threats left.
Yeah.
To beat him.
Yeah.
So again, I do think everybody else knows that. It's not one of those seasons where they don't know it. Where it's a long shot for him to get there. I think they know he's a threat. I think they know they gotta get rid of him.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, all right, let's get rid of him now. If somehow he survives, if somehow he escapes, I think he's gonna win it. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, I think Sean's gonna win it.
Yeah.
But again, if we have another season like with Tommy and
Lauren.
Dean and Nora, then we're like, all right, well, I guess Xander or Erica. But again, I don't see that happening either way. I see one of those two pulling it off.
Yeah.
I think winner of the season is one of those two.
I mean, one of those two are going to make it to the end, yeah.
I think so. I really think so. Mm-hmm. And I think Ricard beats everybody. I think Deshaun beats everybody but Ricard. Mm-hmm. So they know what they need to do. Ricard's just get the end. Deshaun's get the end with anybody but Ricard.
Right.
Simple and easy. Mm-hmm. Way easier said than done, but easier said, at least. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. So obviously our finale episode will be a little bit after the actual finale. We'll probably wait till around the New Year or after Christmas to record the finale episode. Just because it's going to be a 2 hour plus a reunion, most likely. And I don't know if they're doing the reunion this year because they didn't do it last year. But I don't know. I don't know what the rules are for that now. But I assume it's going to be at least a 2.5 hour episode with a little bit of montage of the players or whatever. So it's probably going to be a 3 hour thing. So we'll take a little time to digest that and kind of get our thoughts together, and we'll come out with our finale episode around the New Year. So there's something to keep in mind there. Obviously, we'll preview the next season as well if we get any teaser on that. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. So I think we talked about it all. I think we're good. Be sure to subscribe if you don't miss anything. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/PaymentRoadProductions. You can like our YouTube channel right there. It says subscribe right there. Share the post. Tell your friends. If you want to contact the show, you can do it right there. Do it on Facebook or email the show directly, pavementroadproductions@gmail.com. Anything else, Jessica?
No.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for being here all season. It's been a lot of shows and a little bit of time to kind of get caught back up, but we're caught up here going into the finale. So everybody stay tuned and don't miss anything, and subscribe so you get all the updates. And until the finale, I know one thing. I got nothing else for you because the tribe has spoken.